Steve Jobs said it best when he said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." On today's episode, we're going to dive into 4 techniques on how you get inspired when your motivation level has fallen down. Next to me, 2 very inspired individuals that inspire me daily, Anna Marie Meyer and Eddie Magane. By the way, the 4th one, in my opinion, is the biggest one. So stick around and I hope you learned something today. Let's go. Madam, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, connecting the dots.
Is this now? I can't play that game. I normally lose it there, and that is how we sometimes feel in life.
Is it a lady thing or?
No, I don't do the sit
Just
down
joking.
with doing the dots anymore. I've got more to plan, and that's when we get to goals. So sometimes we get to a goal, but you're not too sure where to or where to start. And sometimes just take your gut feel. Just go for it. We get inspired by you. And you do things that we just can't do. But if we just keep on working towards the same goal, we eventually get there. It always turns out that it's just a platform where everyone is happy. So sometimes you make mistakes, but just carry on. Eventually you will find that all those little things that you thought you missed, that's connecting the dots.
I think if you're very honest with yourself and truthful and say, this is where I am, this is where I want to go, and this is how I get there, it always ends up, okay, first step is just connect the first one, then the second one, then the third one, and then it flows.
You know where you want to be. You're not always shown how to get there. And that's the flow, the normal flow of things. Very correct.
A beautiful hack, I think if done right, because this has served me so well, that is allowing your environment to predetermine your mood. Please take it away.
So the great thing about this world is that you can create your own. So the little space that you work in, that's your world. You choose what you want to see. You can choose what inspires you. You can choose not to have anything that you don't like looking at. I've seen some visitors at certain restaurants get upset that there's just a few dogs around, there's pets, but controlling your environment is you choosing exactly what's in your space, be it space of your comfort, your office. I mean, one would be inspired by a piece of artwork. If that inspires you, get it. If you're inspired by gardening, get a garden. I mean, it makes you happy, it keeps you in a good mood, why not? For me, I would want to have as many pictures of many cars, then that would actually drive me. So why not do it? That's my small world. I can choose what I want to look at, and obviously that keeps me positive.
Beautiful awareness. I love that. So I'm going to say something that you guys have never heard me say before, but give me a chance before you beat me. So don't work so hard. So what does that mean? Sometimes you have to see a situation or you have to see a certain state of mind as 2-dimensional. We are working on the inner as well as the outer. Many times progress is stunned or progress is very slow because we focus on the inner workings of whatever we're busy with. You have to just back off and look at the bigger picture. A nice analogy that I've read recently is you can have 1,000 of the best wood choppers on the planet and you put them in a forest and they're chopping wood. There needs to be that one person that climbs up one tree and says, listen, this is where we need to go. Otherwise they'll chop in circles. You'll never get to your destination. So don't work so hard on the inner dimension. Focus, relax, take a step back, breathe, focus on the outer, and then boom, get your motivation back, and then you can go into the flow. You have much better results on the inner when you do that.
I love the example you said. Sports players, especially soccer players, will tell you this. As a player, when you outside the field, you get so much great ideas. You can figure out the whole game out. But once you're in, you don't have the same view as
Yeah.
you have when you're outside. So sometimes you need to step out of it a bit.
Climb
just,
up a tree?
Yes, just to observe and then have a game plan. When you go back in, you know exactly what to do.
When you're in the moment, you're not as clear vision
You're not.
as just stepping out.
Yeah.
My favorite. Learn what great leaders do to achieve their goals. Dive into it, please.
Get a mentor. Find someone that you look up to. And even if it's someone that's alive now, but it can even be someone that's out of reach. You can't touch it, but you can read, you can view, you can go onto the YouTube, internet, you can see. Follow those people. Because sometimes you need just that someone else telling you something that maybe someone in your inner circle told you before, but you didn't want to listen or hear. So the moment you find that person that you look up to and say, you know what, he made it in life, and that's something I aspire to do.
So I want to give you an example, and sometimes you think that that person is untouchable or unreachable. So there's a legend in the motor industry, and you know I've spoken to people that both like the group and dislike the group, and everybody loves him, not likes him, loves him. The name is Brand Pretorius. So he is an absolute legend who basically brokered the deal between McCarthy and you know, McCarthy going out of business and going into business with Investec and saving 2,000 jobs. Yeah. Retired man, very busy, you know, busy life. And we were sitting down and I said, well, I think he's a phenomenal leader. And they say, yeah, he's great and he's written books and all this other stuff. So I reached out. I sent him an email. Said, Mr. Brandt, this is who I am. Would love to have breakfast with you. And the next day he replied. He said, sure thing. And he gave me a date. Well, this date. So reaching up to someone just
Might even help more than
100%. 100%. But I want to make another point on if you get a mentor that you can actually work with, that's willing to work with you, it must be somebody that is not afraid to hold you accountable and need be kick your ass.
No, true. That's a definite. I agree.
Then we can make sure that you're getting counsel from someone that has moral authority on the subject.
I know someone like that.
Okay, good. I also know one or two guys that are not afraid to kick my ass.
I wanted to add, because somebody might literally think, okay, no, find a leader now. Who's the leader? So I didn't know this, but thanks, Mr. Bobs, for putting me on. There's too many leaders that's available and accessible for everyone out there. And those leaders are in books. They wrote their stories in books, and those books are just the guidelines that you can follow. What I love about it is that you find all the mistakes that they've done during their journey, and this helps guide you into making sure that you're taking the right steps, you're always on the right track. So reading as well can be you finding yourself leadership.
Not making the same mistakes.
Beautiful. And sometimes, you know, reading war books will teach you about leadership, because then you'll know how does this general make a decision on people's lives. You know, the responsibility placed upon him. How does his process work to come out to the decision and say, we're going to attack or we're not going to attack? So, I mean, you can literally learn from anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I loved the subject. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Everybody on the screen, I hope you loved it too. I hope you learned something, and maybe your favorite's different to mine. But anyway, if you liked it, if you feel that somebody could also benefit from this content, please share it. Also hit the like button and
ring the bell. I'm going to steal it.
okay, what do we need to do as well? Maybe subscribe.
She took my bell, you can subscribe.
Thank you very much, and take care, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Sure.